How are we, guys? Welcome to Pockets Pro Sports. I'm here with our first athlete into our primer event, Mark Robertson, a one-time Australian national champion. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks. And yourself?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for taking the invitation and coming on board and seeing what we're all about.
Yep, you're welcome. Should be good.
Beautiful. All right, we'll just get basically straight into it. So, basically, what age did you pick up a cue?
Started playing at probably about 9 years old and then started going in some under 12 tournaments around 10, 11.
Yep.
Started going from there.
Beautiful. So how did you actually get involved in the sport?
My dad played a lot with his friends down at a place called UQ2, and then he bought a pool hall called Classic Q that was in Ringwood, and me and my brother went down every weekend and just played and started enjoying it, and then we just started playing in junior events and shopping centres and everything, and here we are.
Went from there. Beautiful. You're obviously, I think a lot of the people know who your brother is, Neil Robertson.
Yes.
So he's taken a bit of stardom from you, but you're over here and you're doing us proud.
Yeah, no, he goes pretty good. He goes pretty good. Very consistent. One of the greats.
Yeah, I agree. So basically, you've been playing for roughly about 28 years now. You've been saying.
Yeah.
So who did you look up to as a kid?
I've actually never said this to him, but he was when I was about the under 12s. He was in the under 18s, and it was Aaron Marnie. Very, very, very good, accomplished Australian snooker and 8-ball player. So yeah, I really liked just how he went about his game and everything, and I sort of really liked that from the juniors. And then as I went from there, probably more on a world stage was Mark Williams, snooker player Mark Williams. Yeah, right when I was really getting into the snooker side of it, around 15, he was current world champion and all that, and I just really liked how he went about his game.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, well, he's come here a few times, and obviously I'm pretty young, so I didn't know exactly who he was, but I obviously had the likes of Josh Gorski, and people come up to me and say, do you know who that is? So it's been pretty good to see him sort of get back into the 8-ball side of the game.
Yeah, very good. Yep.
So obviously, when you walk up to a table, obviously in Australia, all tables are sort of different. How long does it roughly take you to get the feel of it, the pace?
Probably within the first half hour, you get a pretty good understanding of sort of the vibe of the table, and then maybe about another hour later, you sort of work out all the kinks, and then you just adjust your game accordingly for the format and the table conditions, and probably the opponents you're playing against. Yeah, doesn't take that long.
What's your most memorable moment in 8-ball?
I've got a few. So I won the Australian title in 2012. I beat Rusty in the final, a big fella. That's certainly up there. And I played a big money match against James Delahunty at his venue at Chalkers in Adelaide. That was more for the experience rather than the occasion. James and I have a lot of good battles. And but the trip was just amazing, just an amazing area of Adelaide. I haven't been to that venue before. It was fantastic, and just had a really great time. But the main one was the world titles, when we had a really strong Australian side go away to 2016 world titles, and we got the win there. Some of the guys played incredible, and that one's probably my most special moment.
Yep. So that one was obviously, I think that was Australia's first ever.
It's the second. That's how long it was since we had won it. It was I think 1996. The boys like Jack Halligan, Mick Delahunty, JR, and then Alec Evernatis went over there and won it. It was like 20 years ago.
Old school.
Yeah, old school pool. So, but they were the top players of that generation, and we sent over what you'd probably consider the top players of our generation. Probably missing a few players such as Ben Noonan, Brenton Collier, Ron Kelly, some other guys like that, but not everyone can play. Very fortunate to get the win.
Beautiful. So tell me, the 2016 world team, and you said it was the 96?
Yep.
If they were to both battle it out in the prime, which team do you reckon takes the chocolates?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, look, all sports and games evolve. I think it's very rare that any older generation would beat a current generation in most sports and games. There are some exceptions, but I think the current players now just have too much attacking ability
Yeah.
with the game. And I don't think the tactical ability of the older guys would get an edge that much. Yeah, I think the current guys would just have too much skill at the end of the day.
Yep.
Sorry.
With that being said, who is the toughest player you've played in 8-ball?
I had to think about this one. It was a tough one. There's a few guys I feel like deserve a bit of an honourable mention. A guy who's got a really good record over me is actually Rusty. We haven't played that much, but we've played maybe 5-6 times on big occasions, and he's gotten me most of the time. That annoys me. Another one is James Delahunty. Probably played again about 6 or 7 times on big occasions. We've got about an even match record against each other. Justin Sage, again, another hard one. But the guy I would probably have to say most of all, probably because he's been more local, is Jake McCartney. A similar record against each other, but he's beaten me a lot because we play against each other a lot. So if I had to pick one person, I'd probably say Jake.
Yeah. Me personally, I think that's probably been the Vic rivalry. Everyone's always, Team Rubber or Team McCartney.
Right.
Just can't really split it.
Well, 90%, 10%, I can split it from a crowd cheering point of view, that's for sure. So, but that's fine. Jake's always the life of the party.
Yeah.
Everyone loves him. He possibly is Australia's best player right now. So anyone who knows anything about 8-ball knows who Jake is. So.
Yeah, and he's actually on his way over to the UK, trying his talents over there. So obviously with the sport, with 8-ball, it's been quite some time since it's really taken off. Where do you see it going in Australia?
Well, we've got a massive player base. There's no short of players. Quality of players, we've got world-class players here. As we won the world title 5 years ago, and I think with all the COVID stuff, it's actually really brought to light what we can do online as well, especially from streaming from phones and all these things onto social media. Everyone's getting very accustomed to that from watching not only live games going to venues, but actually watching from home as well. You can stream it from your phone to your TVs, and it's pretty good. I often put a match on myself. The game is a lot more cleaner cut than it used to be. It used to sort of have this vibe of like a dingy bar, smoking, alcohol, all that sort of stuff. But if you go down to pool venues now, the whole atmosphere is a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. It's a good sport, good fun sport. It's healthy. So yeah.
And so obviously with COVID, it's basically brought countries together in a way in the pool scene. You've actually now played online against players like Declan Brennan, Shane Thompson, Tom Cousins. So can you elaborate in your own words what you think that sponsor contributions will do to the sport?
I think that obviously when there's more money involved, the atmosphere, the venue, the playing conditions, the quality of the players, everything like that just gets stepped up multiple levels. If you look at any big sports, tennis, golf, all these things with major sponsors, they can just do everything on a major level the way it needs to be done. And unfortunately, you can't do all the things they need the way they need to be done without money, without sponsors and things like that. You need people behind the scenes putting in money so the events can be as good as they can possibly be.
Yeah, which is basically what's brought us our primer event now. Can you basically tell me what led you ultimately to decide to jump on board and be a part of this event?
I honestly didn't want to miss out. I've made a number of Victorian sides and haven't gone away to nationals, and every time I don't go, I feel like I'm missing out. Same trips to England, feel like I'm missing out. There's been some money match opportunities in the past for me, exhibition matches that I've not played, and I always feel like I missed out. I always feel like I've made the wrong decision. And I've been talking to you guys, and it sounds like you have a very professional vibe about you. You have a very professional, good vision, just the way of communication and everything. And I thought you guys have got something special going on here, and I really didn't want to miss out.
Beautiful, very well said. So obviously, with the event, what's going to be your main focus coming into it? With obviously the category of players we got playing.
I've got a lot of history with, and a lot of history. We've been playing against each other for, over 20 years now. We all know how each other play. We all know how good we all are. All the matches will be around 50-50 thereabouts. It's out of all the 4 players, no one is definitely better or worse than the other. I think it'll be whoever adjusts to the playing conditions, cameras and different tables and stuff like that. I think a bit of practice and they'll get the win.
So obviously you'd have a lot of the young generation looking up to you, someone like myself, who when I first picked up a cue was you and Jake McCartney. For the younger generation now, what advice could you give them if they're looking to get into the sport?
Get a table at home. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there who supply and install tables. A lot of homes these days are built with big open areas. Get a table set up home, just start playing, and any competition you can go in, just go in. Doesn't matter if it's to win $20 or $500 or some sort of title. Just go in any competition you can.
Yeah. So like I've come across players obviously a bit nervous to play. They come in on a Monday night to our comps and they sort of see it, but then once they actually jump into it, they love it. There's been players which haven't played before and they've been back week and week after. Yeah,
absolutely. A lot of the guys who played in the top players, all very friendly, all happy to give advice and share a story here or there. And I think that everyone who plays would very rarely leave an event saying that was a complete waste of time. Everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, beautiful. And obviously this one's for the people. I think you've been asked this quite a bit. Your brother Neil, on an 8-ball table, who takes it out?
So if I was a betting person, so if we were to play right now, me, I win. I absolutely win. But if he's to practice for probably 2 weeks, he would win.
That's all it takes, 2 weeks.
He's just that good. Like his level of professionalism, ability under pressure, you would hardly ever see him miss, and just from the match play side of it, just give him 2 weeks of match play and he'll be good to go. So give him 2 weeks and he would rival anyone in the world. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well, these all have it. The question we've all wanted to know. Thank you very much, Mark, and welcome aboard.
You're welcome. Cheers. Thanks.
Wow.